Your hair looks great.
Girl, thank you. Okay, I got my hair done because I was supposed to be going to Texas,
Okay.
and then that snowstorm happened. That this once in a lifetime that snow that went through Louisiana. Everyone got
Mhm.
snow.
Mhm.
My flight was canceled. The airport was closed. So I'm like, this isn't last month. I'm like, let me keep my curls. And so I'm like wrapping my hair at night. I'm like, I'm keeping these curls. I'm going out. I went out last night. I'm like, okay, these
I
curls
love
are not going to
it.
waste.
Yes, I love it. She's like, I'm maintaining this hairstyle. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Art Remedy Podcast, powered by Detox Art. I'm your host, Brittany Simone, but Britt for short, and I'm joined with an amazing, multifaceted artist. I met her last year on Juneteenth, and this year she is here to grace us with her presence and conversation. Welcome to the stage, or screen rather, Hannah Vega.
Hello, hello.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling very good. Sun is
Love it.
shining. I'm happy. Yes,
Yes.
spring is coming. I'm just, yes.
Yes, spring is among us, and I cannot wait. I'm like, these storms have to go away.
Gotta go.
We need blooming seasons. Blooming is like your hair. This is giving me like wet.
Yes.
It's like beach hair.
Giving
It's giving me
spring.
yes, yes, yes. Big, voluptuous, just taking up space.
Yes.
We love it. I just wanted to dive into how I met you. And I literally talked to my fiance about you today. And I actually forgot that we were recording today. So it was just so funny how like you subconscious mind came to the forefront. I was like, oh my goodness, we got to get her art once we move. I said, that is in the bathroom. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, like, I don't even want furniture. I just know I need like a vinyl player and I need her art in the bathroom. I'm like, I don't know the color scheme yet, but it's gonna pick.
Yes. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Yes, yes, I have to pay respect. And my sister is a photographer too, so I'm starting to really appreciate photography from a different perspective. It's like I respected it, but I didn't really like get angle placement and like seeing things through a smaller lens. So how did you dive into photography?
So I got into photography probably sometime in high school, I think, like the end of high school. And, granted, back then I did not have a DSLR. I had like a point and shoot or, one of those instant can't where you got to take the camera to the
Yes, the
CVS.
film. It's a
Yeah,
lost art, but it's coming back.
it's coming back, everything full circle. Yeah. So I said, yeah, in high school. And so I have two other younger sisters. And so we would do photo shoots where we would like dress up. I'm like, let me photograph you. And they do their poses. And it was just like a whole like cute girl session. I really like taking pictures of mountains. So every year we would drive to Louisville, Kentucky. That's actually where I'm born. I'm born in Louisville.
Okay.
And so we would drive there every year to visit my grandmother. And going to Kentucky, you would go through a lot of mountain range, the Appalachia area to get to Louisville, Kentucky. And so I would take pictures of some of the mountains, or we would leave early in the morning to it's like a 11-hour drive. So we would leave
Wow.
early. And so
Mhm.
I'd get sunrise pictures and just things that I thought were beautiful just for fun because I enjoyed doing it. And I didn't really take it anywhere after that. I kind of like let it go a little bit. And then 2016, me and one of my best friends, we took a trip to the West Coast. This is my first time on the West Coast. I took a whole month off. And
Oh,
yes, a whole
okay.
month off. And her and I, we went from California to Nevada, Utah, Oregon, back down the coast, camping. And I had my GoPro, like action camera, and I would take pictures of all the mountains at Yosemite and all the national parks. And I'm like, wow, it's so beautiful. I want to like get a better camera so I can do more. And then the next year in 2017, that's when I finally got my nicer DSLR, like actual camera where you can change the lenses and,
Okay.
you know, and that was when I went to Iceland. This is my first time out of the country. Me and my other friend, we went to Iceland for the first time. And that's when I really started experimenting with like angles and light and what kind of what style I wanted to be or wanted to have as a photographer. And so, and that was just the greatest place because there's such a variety of landscape, but it's also very otherworldly. Like it's not anything like here. It's like you're on another planet. There's
Wow.
waterfalls everywhere. There aren't really any trees, but there's volcanoes, there's glaciers, there's black lava. Like it's just, there's so many different things to photograph and so many different looks that you can have. So, and we drove around the entire perimeter of Iceland. So I
Oh,
got to see all these different sort of landscapes and really experiment with how I wanted my photography to look. And then from there, I'm like, okay, this is truly a passion of mine. I really love taking picture of nature
mm,
and landscape and just it being like a peaceful experience. And I want to convey that with my photography and the artwork that I share. So most of my photography tends to have more of like a moody sort of feel or brings peace. And
mhm.
so yeah, that's when I got started. And then from there, I'm just like, I'm taking my camera everywhere. I'm going hiking, I'm taking it. I'm going here, I'm taking it. And finally upgraded to a nicer camera. So yeah, that's probably how I got started in high school.
Beautiful. Taking back to your high school moment, like was it a class or was it like just you just saw this camera, you're just like, let me just play around? Or were you inspired by someone else? Like what sparked you
Yeah.
to pick up the camera?
I wasn't in a class, but I was very artistic already. Like I did that art class was my favorite class. I didn't take a photography class. I'm trying to think if there's anyone in particular who inspired me to start picking it up. Not that I can recall. I will say, and this might be something that maybe ties into it, but when I was a little kid, at our old house in Virginia, we had this painting or like a replica of a painting, I don't know, but it was in the dining room and it was huge. And it was, I think it was titled Sunset in Yosemite Valley by this famous painter, Albert Bernstadt, I think is his name, or Bernstein. I think he's German. Sunset in Yosemite Valley. And I remember it's one of my earliest memories as a kid, looking at this painting and being totally captivated by it. It had this like eerie, sort of mystical, it like draws you into it. And I remember I asked my mom when I was a little kid, I'm thinking like 7, 8, like, where is this, mom? She said, I think it's Yosemite, and didn't really, but I think it's so funny that all these years later, I finally got to go to Yosemite. And I just remember being captivated by the landscape and the mountains. And I don't know, like maybe that's something that sort of sparked like my nature love. My mom's taken some
Yes.
hikes, but yeah, I don't think there was anyone in particular in high school that showed me like photography or like, I think I just sort of picked it up from what I recall.
I love that you have this very vivid moment of a painting in your childhood. Like that's inspiring because your parent put it up, and that
Right.
resonated with you as a young kid. So I like the fact that you can pinpoint that piece. You're right, like your art is very peaceful. Your angles are very soft, and I love the contrast too. Like it's just really, it's like yin and yang, which is the symbol of
Yes.
peace. So it's,
Balance.
yeah, the balance. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful and striking. So, and I love that you're like traveler of the world because I love to travel the world. It's like life is too short. Go see these things. I recently got to see the mountains in Arizona and like the sunsets. And when I tell you, I'm like, I need to go back. So I never really been a nature person, but lately I have just found the speechlessness of just how beautiful and captivating it can be, how it just brings complete peace. Moment of just like nature is just so
It's,
just it's
yeah,
just
yes.
effortless. It's
Effortless.
yes.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So I can appreciate this journey that you went on with your friend, and here you are embarking on it by telling a story through your art. When you took this trip with your friend, was it a moment of being young and free, or was there a reason of why you want to travel the world?
I think it was mostly being young and free. This is
Okay.
pre-kid. I have two kids, 5 and 2. So
Okay.
this is 16, 17, 3 years before I had my kids. I was in a position at work where I was able to take the time off and
Mhm.
financially we were able to do it. And she was down. She was like, "You're down, I'm down. Like, let's," So yeah, being young and free and just really, really, I mean, Yosemite was on my bucket list for years and years and years. So to be able to like achieve that and to go, and we did hikes, we went to the waterfalls, we camped in under like, there's like granite cliffs, like so you're in the valley and there's these big granite cliffs. Like we camped there. We woke up the sunrise and it's there, like right there. I'm like, oh my gosh. So like, yeah, I always say checking off this big thing off my bucket list, place I've always wanted to go to since I was a kid.
Okay.
I was young, free. I wanted to camp. I wanted to explore. I still want to do that. I'm just slowing down a little more because I got kids, but like, I'm still gonna be going out and doing things. But yeah, I think that was mainly the reason. Just I love to travel. I love to explore. I love nature. I love hiking. And she was down to go with me. So
I love it. I love a friend that's just like, let's go. Like,
let's just go.
We'll figure it out. How did you get into all these other facts? When I met you at the Juneteenth festival in Maryland, you had all these different things, and I thought it was you both, like you and your sister, sharing the space. You were just like, no, this is all my stuff. And I was like, oh, this is so interesting. The way you just set up is beautiful. Like, it's nicely curated. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you do all of this? Like, how does she do it? Because I'm just like, I'm in my one lane, and you're like, I love people who continue to explore their creativities. I guess first is, what else are you into?
I am into too much. My poor husband. Every time I break up a new, like, oh, I think I want to try doing that. I think I'm gonna press flowers. I'm gonna so photography, it's a passion. My mom taught me how to crochet and knit when I was young, probably like, I don't know, 8, 9, I don't know, before 10 at some point.
So before photography?
Before photography, okay. I knew the basic stitches of how to crochet and to knit. And so I know how to do that. So I did that when I was a kid, a little bit in high school, making things. I didn't know how to read patterns back then. I was just kind of, and then I just let it go. And then once I gave birth, I'm spending a lot of time breastfeeding. I'm sitting, breastfeeding all the time. And I'm like, let me pick this back up because I don't want to be on my phone all the time to distract me from just always feeding this baby. Like, let me do something. Let me be creative. And like, how can I use this time to like make something, do something I enjoy where I'm not just scrolling on my phone. And so I picked that back up postpartum with my first child almost 6 years ago, crocheting and knitting. And then I also got back into doing some jewelry making a little bit, nothing too crazy.
Oh, okay, yes. Look, I have a pair.
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna get them.
Yes. So yeah, I got into, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can crochet and I don't just have to make hats and scarves. Like, let me make some cute earrings. So I figure out how to do that. And then something I'm really excited that I just started doing last year, I started growing my own beads.
Wait, excuse me, bro. How do you grow beads? Are you using like bamboo or something?
No, it's called they're called, so the common name, it has many different names. And this plant is used in a lot of different cultures, from Indigenous Americans to West African cultures, parts in Asia. But the plant is commonly known as Job's tears, Bible Job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Job's tears.
That was the first book I've ever read. Oh, really? Blew my mind. The connecting moments, I love it.
Yes. So Job's tears, they're also known as seed beads, croy beads, like I think CROIX. And there's several different names, but I brought a bracelet. Okay. I don't know if you can see.
And you grew this?
The larger ones, yeah. So it's a type of grass that grows, and it grows these seeds. Yeah, because these are technically seeds, but you pick them at a certain stage, like once they get hard, and they grow, which is I thought was so cool. I was like, I have to try this. They grow pre-drilled.
What? Oh,
And
that was my next question.
yes. And
Wow.
so it just has like a tuft of like grass piece coming out. You just pull it out and then just get a needle and just like get the rest of the fluff out. And it's and and then you have your bead. And what's cool is that they change colors too. So when I picked them, they're like I'll send you some pictures. They're like a greenish, brownish color. And then after like a week, they turn into this kind of like slate, grayish, bluish kind of color thing.
Nature, it's like us, like we said earlier, effortless, just
Effortless. Yeah, just
providing.
I
That's
was
amazing.
collecting them and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna make bracelets. So I got those. I have like a stash of those. It's kind of tedious sticking the needle through and getting the tuft out. But then let me get some like sterling silver beads, some accent beads, and some gemstone beads, and just makes, just see what happens. And so I started making bracelets kind of on the side. And what else do I do? Mm-mm-mm. I paint with my kids, nothing serious, just, they love to paint. So I get down in there with them. And yeah, trying to think, am I missing anything? I think that's the bulk of it.
Okay,
Jewelry
okay.
making, crocheting, knitting, photography. I did a few graphics, like print on products, graphics of like
Okay.
different designs that I kind of thought were cute, just for fun. Just, oh, let me try this, and I put it in my shop. And I have this one bag. I think it's my most popular one. It's called, and it says "Minding My Peace," and it's so like an image of like a black woman, an animated like black woman, and she's just like kind of like this. And it says "Minding My Peace," and like all these ladies are just loving this bag because it's like, this is how I feel. Like, this
Oh,
is, I'm in my peace era. I'm just not no nonsense. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
I love it. I love the act of playfulness that you have with everything that you're doing. I love how you call like photography your passion and then you have these other outlets. How do you juggle all of them? Are there certain days that you work on knitting versus photography, or like do you have a schedule or do you just flow?
It is flow based. A lot of it is also nature based. Noticed this for a few years. Like once fall hits, I'm like, I need to be knitting hats. Warm, cozy, wool. I'm making scarves, hats. And then once the season starts to change, like I think right now I'm making one of my last wool knit hats, unless someone orders another one. I'm like, okay, now I want to do something different. Now I want to go back to making jewelry, or I mentioned earlier, I want to start pressing flowers and like doing things with that because, I grow flowers, I garden, I have all these things like, and the kids I think would love it. So I think I'm going to do that because it's getting warmer. I want to make earrings. Instead of working from wool, I start working with cotton. So I think there's like a nature flow to it based on the seasons. I think also seasonally, I once we get into like the warmer climate, I'm doing a lot of garden work and a lot of foraging and medicine making or like cooking, harvesting, planting seeds. So that takes up more of my time. So I'm not doing as much with crafting, sitting and crafting because I'm more active outside. I think the photography is really based on just, at least lately, now that I have kids, it's more so like when I can get a moment to just go out by myself. I typically like to do photography when I'm just like out on a hike by myself, where I can just really take my time. There's no one like, mommy, mommy, or like taking me all these different directions. Lately, it's like more so when I get a chance to do it, when I just feel inspired, or if I like see a rainbow outside. I'm like, let me just get my camera real quick and get it. I am planning a trip to Santa Fe in April. So I'll be bringing my camera then. It'll just be just me, no kids. And I'm sure I'm going to get more artwork then. But yeah, it's really flow based. It's based on the seasons, based on how I'm feeling. It can be kind of chaotic at times because I don't have a schedule. So it's like, okay, well, I started this, but I really want to work on this right now. And typical Gemini.
I was just about to ask what
I,
is and I'm like, I definitely she's lots of flow. I feel it. I feel it. Lots of flow. And there's nothing wrong with that because
no,
I
no.
love how you, first of all, the fact that everything is connected with you. It's like your work is landscape based and nature based, and then how you say your all your outlets and your interests revolve around seasons. And I feel like that's so beautiful because what do seasons do? They flow and they move and they're not stagnant, you know? So it's just like and then you live in an area where you get all 4 seasons. So it makes
Yes,
sense for you to like have this constant cycle of different interests. And I think that's really beautiful because that in itself is organization.
it is natural organization. Yeah, I guess in a way.
Yeah, because you're just
Yeah.
like you're doing it with ease. And it's not like you have a Monday through Thursday, I'm doing this, and Friday through, it's just you are just working with nature.
Yes. Yeah, that is true.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have a showcase of your work in the future? Is that on the bucket list?
It needs to be. I haven't really thought about that. I will consider that and seeing what that would be like for me because I've never done any like a showcase of just my stuff. I don't know what that would look like, but I would definitely be interested in.
Especially if your photography.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna say this. Seeing work in person versus on Instagram, two different worlds.
Yeah.
No, because well, I've seen both of yours, right? But I've seen yours in person first, and it was just so captivating. And then when you started sharing other things I didn't necessarily see at the show for Juneteenth, I was just like, oh my goodness, like this is really beautiful. Like I've never, it's so funny though, because I've seen stuff like that, but I think it was like the ones they always put in schools or like in the hallways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have like the quotes on the top of the box, so it's a little distracting.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what I'm really supposed to be paying attention to. Okay, I get it. But then I see your work and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I would have never thought to take a picture of that. But that's just it's just so nice. There's one that looks like kind of like a barn, and it's like off to like the lower right hand side, and it's kind of smoky and dark. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, are you talking about the Black church?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Like that's so beautiful. I was just like,
okay, that is one of my personal favorite images that I've ever taken. Like so that's in Iceland. That yes, yes. It's one of the oldest churches in Iceland or oldest wooden churches in Iceland. And we had to go like off on some like it was out there to get to like on some fjord, like you have the main circle and then there's like this outshoot of land. So we went like out to go get to it. And I was like, I'm going to get a picture of this. And yeah, and then there were mountains, huge mountains in the background with this striking all Black church. And I was captivated there, and that's one of my favorite pictures.
oh my
I have it
God.
in my house. Just
It would resonate so well, and you deserve to be in a gallery space. Like it's that captivating to change like my perspective of like what photography looks like outside of just people. Very, very strong eye. So I'm just like, okay, you have to. I'm not gonna force it on you, but I'm just like, crossing the T's, like put it on your bucket list one day. Like your work is beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is, and I appreciate you having me on the show and really like amplifying my work. I really appreciate that. There's really not many Black women nature photographers. Like if you Google it online, if you try to find, there's like me, well, Jana, which I love her work. I have so many of her pictures in my house. There's this one group on Instagram, Black female landscape nature photographers, and they are highlighting Black women who are into nature and landscape photography. And so if you Google like Black female landscape photographers, like they come up and like all the women on there, but like it is really hard to find.
Wow.
Like Google it to see, it's hard. It's not really many of us out there.
It's interesting. Well, maybe it's on its way because we have these holistic spaces for Black people, Black men and Black women separately together. Now that this whole DEI thing is happening, it's like people are directly looking for where to find Black and people of color to support. There's been just an even heightened awareness since the pandemic with like the Black Lives Matter grassroots, not the foundation.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to plug that real quick. Speaking of that, girl, you could be a travel. You could get your work on like travel guides or like a travel guide blog. Sorry, that just hit me. I'm just like, you scroll or you get the pamphlets and it's like that one beautiful
Yes,
landscape.
yeah.
That could be you. That could
I was featured on Travel and Leisure one time. My work was featured, yes, on their Instagram page. That was very cool. Did a
oh
little
my
interview and featured my work. So yeah, yeah,
God.
I love to travel. I
Yes,
have so many passions. Yeah.
I love it, but it's a good thing because and I wanted to say this a while ago, but we're talking and the vibes are going, but it's I don't have kids yet, but I know it is so beneficial for the youth to see their parents continue to be active and playful and just like keeping that youthful spirit because it will inspire them, right, to explore, to play at the ages beyond childhood. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
really rewarding to see because I know that some people who didn't have that, who just had parents who just work, 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 it became difficult for them to figure out what am I into. And life is a journey and it's like if they didn't have that awakened moment to play, to figure out what they're connecting to, like what will life be? So I think that you're a outstanding mom for just playing by yourself and also playing with them, having that time alone to strengthen your talents, to your and explore your passions. And I don't know. I don't know your life, not your life, but I know that that's just like I like to hear stuff like that and to know that you can have. And that's another thing to have it all. Because I feel like not being a mom, I always wonder like, how am I gonna do it all? And can I have my passion? And how am I gonna do all the things? So just hearing your story is inspiring for me. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. Yeah, my kids, they're just such a light in my life, and I'm very blessed and fortunate that I'm able to stay home with my kids. I was working corporate job, and after my second child, we're just like, you know what? Let's just do what's best. And so what's best for our family.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
and yeah, so I'm home with the kids. We're having a great time. They're being creative. I'm being creative. They're getting all this attention and love, and it's just very rewarding. There's just challenges, and when you have young kids, but and you just learn so much from them, and like how to just not take life so seriously. It's one of the things I realized, I noticed about myself after having kids, is that I'm smiling and laughing so much more now because I have kids. They're just so funny. They're so silly and they're just so full of life, and they just say things. You're just like, what? Oh my God. Every day you're just like, oh my God, just laughing. They're just.
I love this. Oh my gosh, my sister had a baby 6 months ago, and I love her so much. Like when I tell you, like I'm attached to this girl. We have the same middle name too. They gave her my name
Oh.
and changed my perspective.
Oh. She's like, don't you want one, Auntie?
Oh my God, like falling in love with
In
her.
love. And I tell you, and I feel like people hear all the time, but like you don't really know love until you have a child of your own. Like it's like rip your heart out, it's so, and to watch them grow and to learn and to see them do like some mannerisms that you do, you see them doing it too, you're just like, ah. And they just teach you so many things, like inadvertently, just by being themselves, especially when they're young, like before, they reach puberty, they're just tapped in, if you know what I mean? They're
Yes,
like,
absolutely. Yes, yes.
and to like be able to cultivate that and nurture that, and like, yeah, son, that's called your intuition. Like that is why you knew that without me telling you, because like, and we talk about it sometimes, like intuition and all these different things. And yeah, it's just, yeah, being a mom, it's a beautiful thing. It has its challenges, but if you have support, I think that makes a huge difference in terms of like your mental health, and having support, having creative outlets, and letting go of what you think things like have to be like, and like really feeling like what is your body telling you, and just being able to release and to let go and to surrender. Like there's a lot of teachings and lessons on surrendering and listening and refining and being flexible. Sometimes that's hard depending on how your life is and what kind of career you have or what you want your career to be. And then you become, that can be challenging, but it's a blessing and it's very rewarding.
Yes. Saying all that, I cannot wait to like replay this back and just continue to give me the confirmation that it's going to be okay. Because my niece, she has been teaching me that, like, you know how, I don't know if you know, but they always say when you're looking at screens to take a break and look far away for at least like 15 minutes, like reset your eyes. So she's like my time clock. So when I'm working and I'll like either hear her cry or I just know like my sister or somebody needs a break, I'm like, okay, if she's been crying, let me take a break. Because I know I've probably been working beyond that 45-minute segment. I'll go take a break, play with her, be with her for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then I come back. And she's been helping me to be like, I need to enjoy these moments of life and not be so plugged in to the internet or into like, even though I'm building a business, family time, you don't get that back. So it's just been a constant reminder. And I love that. It's almost like I'm getting the prerequisite to my own children, you know?
Yes. Yeah, actually, I love being a mother and just giving birth. So I had 2 natural births.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be like you.
Talk to me, girl, because it's something I'm very, very passionate about. So I don't know if this is considered like art creativity, but it's definitely one of my true passions that has awakened to me after having kids, is that I want to be a birth keeper. I want to be a birth worker. And I actually started last month a year to 2 year long traditional midwifery cohort with an elder midwife and almost 200 other women. And we are all learning together about quantum midwifery, traditional midwifery, and how to like be a birth keeper and how to be there for women truly, and also how to educate women on birth, how it's intended to be. And it's just, I'm learning so much. In addition to what I've already learned from giving birth twice naturally, I'm learning so much from this elder midwife. I'm like sitting at her feet, just like taking in all the information, and like all the other women in this cohort. What I love about it is that it's not just birth. So she covers, anatomy, physiology, the midwifery aspect, but she also is covering wisdom keeping and also like homeopathy. She's really into homeopathy. I don't think I ever would have studied homeopathy on my own volition, like had I not like got into this, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a really interesting way to heal. And I think this could be the medicine of the future. Like just learning so much from her. I used to look at homeopathy like, that doesn't work.
First of all, I want to go back to a comment you said, because yes, this is an art. I, for one, believe that art is anything that we birth into being, into existence. Even we've been talking about, being a mom, you've been talking about giving natural births. That is a beautiful art that our body does. That's one reason why I wanted to have this podcast, is to redefine what art is, what creativity is, and enlighten people to understand that we're all creative and we have this innate ability to bring something into the world that is art. So I love that you're saying you like kind of question but affirm that this is an art form, because it is. And this is a beautiful journey, because we need more natural births. I, for one, want a natural birth. I did this mural for this woman in New York. She's a doula. And she had this whole business before the pandemic. It's not there anymore, but she's still doing the service. But I had no idea that laying in the bed was incorrect. I was like, wait a minute. She was giving me all the tea. I was like, wait, what?
I'm trying not to hijack your whole podcast talking about birth, because it is something I am you don't even.
It is. Yes. I was just like, oh my goodness, I would have never had known.
Not serve the mother to be
I would
in
have,
that position. If you
there
look
is,
at the history of why women are even in that position.
well, I actually didn't, I never looked that up, but when she just told me, I can still remember the day. I was just like jaw to the floor. Like, what do you mean? She was like, that's only 100 years old. I'm like, wait, huh? So
Yeah.
it's just the things you just don't know. And it just brought me into a world of how to have a safe birth. And, I was never thinking about having kids. And she just slowly just allowed me to see the other side of it all. And I'm like, oh, just find more interest in it. But continue doing that. I love that you are multifaceted, and it's so beautiful to see because I'm starting to have this idea that the fountain of youth is actually us being more playful and keeping to this just open, free-flowing, kid-like energy. In the Bible, there was this one part, I don't know where it is because I'm still learning, but it was just like to know God is to be childlike. I could be paraphrasing, but I think it's in Psalms. But
Mm.
uh, it was so powerful because I was just like, that's so true. Kids forgive easily, they don't hold
Yes.
grudges,
Yeah.
they just are constantly living. And I'm just like, you're right. They don't have these boundaries. They
They
know
don't.
anything is possible. So,
And I witness it every day. Like, I'll say, like, as an example, I'll be like, Catalina, my daughter, might do something to Raphael, like hit him or take us something, or I don't know. And I'll say, Catalina, you need to tell Raphael sorry. Like, it wasn't nice. He'll say, don't worry, don't say, you didn't say sorry. Like, just don't even worry. Or he'll like do things for her. And he's like very kind. And, he's a boy. He still has his moments where he's like, the testosterone's coming in. But, he's a very gentle spirit and, and intuitive and creative and agile and moving around. And it's like, this is how we're supposed to be.
absolutely,
Like they
absolutely.
are the blueprint.
Yes, that is very true. And when remember how you said they're tapped in, it's because, and we have to, us as like adults, we have to keep them tapped in because, once we get used to this like way of being in this life, we lose that connection and we just start kind of limiting our perspective, our imagination decreases, the thought
Yeah.
of just like believing beyond what we see and what we are in the moment, it just becomes hard. I feel like I'm working on like breaking old thoughts and ways of being to rediscover that side. And I'm just like being a child, like just
Yeah.
being
You become
that
more dense,
as being a
like
yes,
solidified. It's like open up,
yes, yes.
expand. So
So, no, it's beautiful. I love it. I just want to say thank you again for this amazing conversation. I'm going to drop all your information below, but let everyone know where they can connect with you, see your work, be inspired.
yeah, so thank you. Thank you for having me. I love what you're doing. Oh my gosh. I remember when I met you, I was like, you are the coolest person. I love the art. Everyone's painting, happy, and I'm just clapping for you. Every time you post what you're doing, I'm like, I just, yes. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Okay, so my Green Roots Design Co. That's what I have for my crafts, arts and crafts, like my knit hats, my crochet stuff, my jewelry. That's my Etsy page. That's where I'm posting that stuff right now. So Green Roots Design on Instagram and on Etsy. And then my photography is Hannah Vega Photography. HannahLVega.com is my website where you can see my full portfolio. You can order prints or
I mean, it's not a print. I should have held it up later.
Yeah, that's Green Roots. But when you move, you'll get a printing.
No, I'm paying for that. I'm rotating the money. I'm paying for that. I just don't want to get it now. And I'm like, where am I supposed to put it?
Where are you gonna put it? Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting the print. And plus, we're supposed to pick together. I can't just pick it and be like, we're putting this up.
Right,
like,
right.
I'm
He's like,
a good
oh,
partner.
Yeah. So yeah, on Instagram, Vega Ventures is my tag, and HannahLVega.com is my website where you can see all my work, prints, canvases, metal prints, postcards. You just want some small. Yeah. That's most of my creative stuff. And then I have Afro foragers because I love to forage. But I think that's going to be changing to be incorporating more like natural living as well as my birth work and everything I'm learning there. So I'm kind of going through a transition right now. I'm realizing I have all these things and I kind of want to condense. So that's where I have my main pages: Green Roots Design, Vega Ventures, and Afro Foragers, like the 3 iterations of myself.
I love it. I love it. You are at play. I love the evolution. I have changed my business like 4 or 5 times. I don't really care if you're here to support. Cool for you. Sorry for those who don't want to, but you're missing out. They're missing out. But I don't care. I'm just like, we're humans and we're ever evolving and we're just constantly on this journey of just like being better and connecting with what feels good and what to give to the world. And you know, like creativity is just constantly moving. Art is never done. So it's just like, be here for the journey. Thank you again. I wish you so much success and I will see you on the internet. Ooh, that rhymed. I like that. Bye, Hannah.
Bye-bye.